Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a look here at SUI, see what's going on. Not so sweet here today. Pun was definitely intended on that one. Mainly just because we can see we're reestablishing this lower low, kind of retesting this area about 310, 315, and obviously it failed to break out here. Now, keep in mind, Bitcoin pumped to 100,000. And SUI came up here to its resistance range, local point of control, at $3.40 as a close approximate. What that all means for us here is that this fair value gap was filled, so that definitely did its thing. Problem is we never broke through our descending trend line, likely haven't closed above 50 in the RSI, which we didn't. So there's a lot of reasons why the price action is probably more likely to go down than up. Keep in mind, this is all based on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, is pulling back pretty significant from that $100,000 resistance, but it still hasn't established any higher lows yet. If it does, we could very well see a pivot and a continuation higher for SUI. Just know that this coin is responding extremely poor. It's one of the only red coins here so far today. In other words, basically just selling off super hard when Bitcoin pulls back by a little bit. Now, Bitcoin is pulling back, I mean, you know what, from 100,000 to 97K, that is almost a 3% correction. So you can't fault this coin here for pulling back. It's just that most of their alts are, pumped a lot harder leading into this, so they're still maintaining a positive balance, where this one is kind of in the red so far for the day. So again, not really a great vote of confidence. Either way, if I would appreciate your vote of confidence, come to say it so, or think out loud here. Hit the like button, folks. Hit that every single time you watch a video. It really helps grow the channel. Get this in front of more people, so less moon boys get other people destroyed. It's just kind of one of those things. We got to kind of start, bringing best practice back, right? We gotta bring the right way to trade back in the scenario instead of just these other idiots that don't know what they're doing. Anyways, no shade on anyone else who doesn't know what they're doing, but after 20 years of trading, I know a thing or two here, and I like to impart that onto you as well. And just so you know, I'm not perfect by any stretch, right? We only averaged 75% success last month with our trade signals, and then I think our plus group pretty close to that as well. Keep in mind, I've got some new updates coming with our Plus community here. So those of you who are day trading, I got a really good strategy now for automating the day trades. It's very profitable, looking very good. And I'll discuss that here with y'all here in a little bit. Okay, so back in data. First of all, 255, 275, we talked about that being a pretty heavy concentration. You can add this 305 to $3 mark to the list. I think we may actually see that here soon if Bitcoin cannot successfully remove its head from its ass. All right, now again, that's just kind of the easy way to understand it. Until Bitcoin gets above 100,000, we're going to see this nonsensical chop with altcoins. Because what is it? What's the reason? Well, Bitcoin dominance is significantly high. Okay, it hasn't tapered off at all, basically implying that altcoins are just getting trashed on, and they have no reason to pump here soon because Bitcoin's absorbing all the market dominance. Right, it's taking all that profit and going right into Bitcoin, which is crazy, considering Bitcoin isn't going up, right? It's a weird thing, but it's very normal. Anyways, that is reflected here on the chart as far as liquidation, with too much liquidation on the downside here, too close. I don't feel very confident in taking a long position with this coin, right? At least I haven't been confident on taking a long in a while, honestly, if you've been watching my analysis, but this is even more of a reason not to. Now, I know there's gonna be some people that are buying this dip that have success, and they're like, oh, I'm on the bee's knees right now, I'm the best thing ever. Well, if you think you're the best because you got lucky, please recognize that's not a good strategy. It'll eventually bite you in the butt. And again, it's not that it's bad to get lucky and to celebrate that. It's okay. I just don't think that it's normal and it's going to continue, because it really won't. Market makers are super manipulative, and luck can run out at any given time. Anyways, we're seeing a plateau here for liquidation delta, implying that a breakout soon is higher, rather. And it doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to break up either. That can go both ways, by the way. We could very well see a pretty significant toilet flush and the price goes straight down. Now we look here, as far as open interest is concerned, there's a lot of longs here, about 323, and we can see that there's a lot more volume above us than below us. Okay, so while we got some support at 267, some heavy buying pressure there at 293, there's no reason to really do anything with this dip here, minus a spot bag, right? So hypothetically, we got more resistance above us than below us, and until we break this descending trend line, there's no reason to take a long. That's generally the way that you're supposed to treat any type of trading behavior. Okay, again, get on the side of get on the trend that you want to be on, right? At this point, the trend is down, so you're probably going to find better success shorting this coin. even though, again, I would never recommend it because it's too high of a risk. In my personal opinion, this coin responds very fast. It's still more viable at this point based on what we've seen here. But let's double check and make sure, see if there's anything that we can identify that might be a shift in momentum. Keep in mind, you don't attach yourself to that, but we can understand what to look for moving forward. If those conditions are present, maybe we'll take a trade off XYZ scenario. If we look here though, we're under all moving averages over the 200 SMA. That's great. Consolation right there. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. This is not fantastic. This is a very terrible daily time frame. Keep in mind, most altcoins right now are exuding the same behavior, so this is no specific outlier. While it's underperforming compared to most altcoins right now, you got to recognize it's also a super massively overbought coin, right? And market makers, they're going to be the ones to come and take that profit because they know people like you and I are buying all the dips, right? So anyways, all that being said, 4 hour time frame, we're running concurrent with the trend line here with a 20-day SMA. Till we close above that, there's no reason to consider taking it long. Same thing here as well with the RSI. Till we get over 50 on the RSI, no reason to take a long. This kind of just implies that no matter what, even though we've had some false breakouts, again, hence the falseness, you can see that this confirms if we're under 50 on the RSI, it's not worth taking a trade. To anyone who took a trade up here, well, actually, we actually technically did too. We got in and we got out quickly. It wasn't, I'm not bragging by any stretch, but the truth is we did secure some profits from our SUI. That's a Bitcoin short. Prior to that, there we go, SUI 20% in an hour and a half. So again, you have to secure profits, and the only reason I'm mentioning that is because if you do end up taking higher risk trades without full confirmation, you better adjust your stop loss higher as you move into profit or secure profits and get out. That's the key takeaway, okay? So again, just giving that as a good example of what to do or what not to do depending on where you're at. All that said, there's literally nothing here that is telling us we have any potential continuation higher. If anyone else is telling you that there's hidden bullish divergences and something that's like, amazing that nobody else can see, only they can find out, that I think that you should be very careful trusting that kind of person, because you don't first of all, you don't attach yourself to bullish type of shifts in momentum when everything else is extremely bearish, right? It doesn't make a ton of sense. Now, granted, I still feel like Bitcoin should make a run towards 100,000 and break through that level in the relative near future. If that were to happen, I think also respond well, including this coin. But between now and then, it's just too high of a risk to try to take a long into any of that. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Get in motion with the trend, and it'll work out favorably for you. The trend is always going to be your friend. That's the reason why they have that wording, and that's exactly how it works. Anyways, key takeaway here is if we look at the cloud, it's confirming that this descending trend is a resistance. So until we close above it, somewhere in the 330 or higher range, or possibly 315 to 320 in a couple of days, we're not in a position right now to be able to take along with any confidence. Lagging spans now free and clear of the downside. This actually looks tremendously worse than other coins I've looked at so far today. So again, this coin is just, it's crap in its pants. It's a good analogy. And it's easy for me to have those kind of references because I have a newborn who is he's 9 days old now, right? So as often as he eats, poops, and sleeps is as often as this coin is doing the same thing, right? I think that's a terrible analogy. I'm sure it probably was, but the whole point is accurate, right? The market is crap, and the best thing right now is to wait for that let's replace the diaper first. Let Bitcoin get back to 100,000 or higher, and then we can have some confidence in taking some trades. Between now and then, it's going to be chop city until this guy here, Bitcoin dominance, starts to come down. This is just a firm indication that altcoins are going to continue to bleed out until this shift in momentum occurs. Okay, anyways, I'll be on the lookout. As soon as that does occur, I'll let you know, of course. Keep in mind, Bitcoin dominance is more of like it's not a cause, it's the effect. So that chart is only reflective of the actual market direction. But at this point, there's a lot of reasons why taking along with this coin doesn't make any sense. So anyways, okay, I've repeated myself 15, 20 times. I'm sorry. I like to do that just to ensure that all of my traders, both new and tenured traders, are kind of get this in their head. Because you'd be surprised how stubborn traders are. And I have to deal with hundreds of potentially stubborn people on a daily basis. And as much as I love it, I have to repeat myself because that's really the only way that people will learn. So I hope you don't take offense to me consistently reiterating best practice. It's really just ideally it's going to be helpful for you in the long run. All right, folks, I'll post a playout chart here in our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. It looks a little something like this if you're not familiar. Or I just kind of give you insight on coins that I'm covering and some extra details there to summarize. It's all available there for you. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, though. Appreciate your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.